Ever since he was drafted in 2017, Alvin Kamara has been one of the most dangerous weapons in the NFL. His patient, graceful style makes him a delight to watch, but don't be fooled. He is as explosive as they come and a stone-cold killer with the ball in his hands. The fact that he fell into the third round of the 2017 NFL Draft is a crime, and in this video, we will remind ourselves which backs were favored ahead of him and how their careers panned out. This video is powered by BetUS, our sponsor all season long for Touchdown Kingdom. Don't miss out on their limited time offer of a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on the next two. This is up to $2,000 and can be accessed with the code YouTube150. Alvin Kamara had a complicated college career, starting out with the prestigious Alabama Crimson Tide program, where he was known more for his off-field troubles than for on-field success. A combination of a loaded running back room, knee surgery, and being banned from the practice squad by Nick Saban resulted in him moving to Hutchinson Community College for his redshirt freshman season. Some strong performances there earned him a transfer to Tennessee, where he spent 2 years in a fearsome Volunteers three-headed backfield monster alongside John Kelly and Jalen Hurd, with quarterback Josh Dobbs tallying over 1,400 yards across those 2 seasons as well. Kamara's touches were limited, but he made the most of them. An average of 6.2 yards per carry, in addition to 683 yards through the air across the 2 seasons, proved that Kamara was a versatile dual-threat running back. However, the lack of opportunities inevitably hurt his draft stock, and, all things considered, a third-round selection was not a bad return. Hearing his name called on draft night was a dream come true, but the most exciting thing for Kamara was that his rookie season in New Orleans would give him by far the biggest workload of his career, and boy, did he make the most of it. The rookie sensation handled 120 carries for 728 yards and 8 touchdowns at 6.1 yards per carry, while also bringing in a whopping 81 receptions for 826 yards and 5 more scores through the air. That is how you hit the ground running as a pro, and the reward was being named NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Ever since that epic rookie season, Kamara has been one of the most exciting weapons in the NFL, comfortably registering over 1,000 yards from scrimmage in all of his 7 completed seasons in the league, up to the 2023 season. For his efforts, he's been awarded 2 second-team All-Pros and 5 Pro Bowls to go along with his Offensive Rookie of the Year award. That's a pretty healthy return, reflective of a running back who can truly change the game as both a rusher and a receiver. No game showcased his ability more than his NFL record-tying 6 touchdown performance against the Minnesota Vikings in 2020. So there's no doubt that 31 NFL teams messed up by letting him slide to the 3rd round. But more importantly, what happened to the 4 running backs taken before him? Let's find out. The first running back off the board was Leonard Fournette, a rare package of size, speed, and explosiveness. At 6 feet, 228 pounds, Fournette was built like a linebacker, but he had all the burst and elusiveness required to make him an extremely exciting running back prospect. The consensus All-American was drafted 4th overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars, who were desperately hoping to end a streak of 9 straight seasons without a winning record. The Jags needed a spark, and Fournette was the guy they chose to give it to them. Jacksonville leaned heavily on their bruising rookie running back in 2017, giving him 268 carries in his 13 games played. While Fournette wasn't the most efficient with those carries, he played a crucial role in wearing down defenses and using his power to help Jacksonville control games. The Jags were taking an old-school approach in 2017, pounding the rock with Fournette and suffocating opponents with their fearsome defense, and it worked. Fournette and the defense propelled the team to a 10-6 record before they unfortunately fell just short of the Super Bowl with a loss to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Nevertheless, Fournette shone as a rookie, crossing the 1,000-yard mark and notching 9 touchdowns. Injuries plagued a disappointing sophomore campaign in which he averaged just 3.3 yards per carry before a productive return to the field in 2019 saw him post a career-best 1,152 yards at 4.5 yards per carry, in addition to 522 more yards as a receiver. Despite this, Jacksonville claimed that they were not quite getting the production they hoped for, hinting at frustrations caused by disciplinary issues and injuries. The team declined his 5th-year option, and, after failing to find a trade partner, ended up waiving Fournette just 3 years after using a top 5 pick on him. All in all, that has to be chalked up as a bad return on investment for the Jags, but for Fournette, it worked out perfectly. The former 4th overall pick signed with Tampa Bay for the 2020 season, arriving just in time to partner up with Tom Brady. Fournette played a minor role during the regular season, but earned the nickname Playoff Lenny for his efforts in the postseason, highlighted by 89 yards and a touchdown to help the Bucs win the Super Bowl. It was an amazing change in fortunes after being waived by Jacksonville, and he returned to rush for over 800 yards 1 year later. There would be no miraculous third win though, as Fournette declined rapidly from that point onward, leading to him being without a team by 2024. Next up, we have Christian McCaffrey, who's taken 8th overall by the Carolina Panthers. CMC, as he is known, was a completely different profile to Fournette, swapping the power back approach for a nimble, fleet-footed playstyle that made him impossible to tackle. He had incredible football IQ and rare vision, always finding the open lane before turning on the jets and racing to the end zone. As a sophomore at Stanford, he crossed the elusive 2,000 yards rushing milestone, totaling a record-breaking 3,864 yards from scrimmage. After another strong season in year 3, in which he ran for 1,600 yards, it was no surprise that McCaffrey went inside the top 10. Of all 4 backs to feature in this video, McCaffrey is the most similar to Kamara, doing as much damage through the air as on the ground. He showed promise as a rookie, but it was as a sophomore that he really started to showcase his special talent. In 2018, he passed the 1,000 yard mark for the first time, averaging 5 yards per carry and scoring 7 touchdowns. What was even more exciting though was that he also corralled an insane 107 receptions for 867 yards and 6 more touchdowns through the air. That incredible production instantly made him one of the most dangerous weapons in the NFL. He had led the team in both rushing and receiving yards as a sophomore and earned second-team All-Pro honors for his efforts, but he was only just getting started. In 2019, McCaffrey did what only 2 other running backs in NFL history had achieved. He crossed the 1,000-yard milestone as both a rusher and receiver, consisting of 1,387 yards and a career-high 15 touchdowns on the ground, along with 116 receptions and 4 touchdowns through the air. This was enough to earn him his first-team All-Pro selection, in addition to a hefty new contract with the Panthers, who inked him to a 4-year, $64 million extension. Unfortunately, a cruel twist of fate would result in injuries restricting him to just 10 games across his next 2 seasons, which, along with the decline of the Panthers' overall performance, led to him being traded to San Francisco in 2022. McCaffrey, now thankfully free of the injury curse, got right back on track in San Francisco, leading the league with 1,459 rushing yards and 14 touchdowns in 2023, along with 564 yards and 7 touchdowns as a receiver. He propelled the 49ers to the Super Bowl and was rewarded with the Offensive Player of the Year award in the process, but unfortunately fell just short against Kansas City. There's no doubt that CMC deserves a ring, and he is one back that definitely did deserve to go before Alvin Kamara in the 2017 draft. Let's talk about some sports betting. My go-to for that is BetUS. Once you're in, you'll easily find all the pregame markets, parlays, and prop bets that you need. You'll even get 10% back on your net losses twice a year. So let's win some money. If I want to bet on some division winners, I just click on the football tab, scroll down to the NFL divisions tab, then find the bet I like. I'm going to go for Jaden Daniels Commanders to win the NFC East, so click on the number and specify your wager. $50 sounds good. Then click place my bets, click confirm, and there you go. Pretty easy, right? Enjoy a limited time offer of a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on the next 2. This is up to $2,000 and can be accessed with the code YouTube150. The third running back off the board in 2017 was Dalvin Cook, taken by the Minnesota Vikings with the 41st overall selection. Coming off a unanimous All-American season in 2016, thanks to a 1,765-yard, 19-touchdown effort, Cook entered the league with very high expectations. He was known for his speed and acceleration, but he had to wait a few years before he could properly show it off. After a very exciting first game in which he broke Adrian Peterson's debut rushing record with 127 yards, Cook's season was brought to an early end because of a devastating ACL tear. He made it back in 2018, only to suffer a hamstring injury that once again forced him to spend some time on the sidelines. In 2019, he finally got to show off his skill set, opening up with a 111-yard, 2-touchdown performance against the Falcons. This laid the foundations for a fantastic 1,135-yard effort with 13 touchdowns on the ground and another 519 yards through the air. With Cook healthy, the Vikings earned a playoff berth, giving Cook his first taste of postseason action. He celebrated by punishing the New Orleans Saints for 130 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns in the wildcard round. The playoff run came to an end 1 week later, but Cook had proven himself, earning a Pro Bowl selection and a massive 5-year, $63 million extension. That is a lot to pay a running back, but Cook rewarded the front office's faith quickly, scorching the league for a career-high 1,557 yards and 16 touchdowns at 5 yards per carry. There was no playoff football to enjoy in that 2020 season, but Cook had clearly established himself as one of the league's most talented and consistent backs. He maintained that reputation over 2 more 1,000-yard seasons, but when he declined to accept a pay cut following the 2022 season, the fall-off in production was sharp. After logging his 4th consecutive 1,000-yard campaign in 2022, he signed with the Jets and promptly turned out a dismal 214-yard effort at 3.2 yards per carry in support of lead back Breece Hall. This essentially marked the end of Cook's career as a running back of note, signing with the Cowboys to be a depth piece in 2024. At his best, Cook was truly elite, but when his production started to dip, it did so at a rapid pace. The final running back taken before Alvin Kamara is Joe Mixon, who was selected with the 48th overall pick. Mixon began his career in Cincinnati, following a dominant 2-year college career in which he amassed 2,027 yards and 17 touchdowns at a hefty 6.8 yards per carry. He also showed off his receiving chops by bringing in 65 receptions for 894 yards and 9 more scores across the 2 seasons. Mixon was undoubtedly a first-round talent, but to many, he was considered undraftable, and he wasn't even invited to the NFL Combine. This was because he was charged with misdemeanor assault for allegedly punching a woman and fracturing 4 bones in her face. Mixon eventually settled this in 2017, leading the Bengals to feel comfortable enough to draft him in the 2nd round. It took Mixon some time to adjust to the pro game, averaging just 3.5 yards per carry as a rookie and fumbling 3 times. Nevertheless, he clearly did a lot of learning, because he came out in 2018 averaging 4.9 yards per carry for his 1,168 yards and 8 touchdowns. Another 1,000-yard season followed in year 3 before a foot injury caused him to miss most of the 2020 season. 2020 wasn't all bad news though, as that was the year that a certain Joe Burrow arrived in Cincinnati, which meant that the team Mixon returned to in 2021 was primed and ready to compete. After 5 straight losing seasons, Mixon and Burrow helped the Bengals to a double-digit winning record and a division title, logging a career-high 1,205 yards and 13 touchdowns in the process, which was enough to earn him his first Pro Bowl selection. The Bengals made it all the way to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately could not get the job done against the LA Rams. Following the Super Bowl disappointment, Mixon enjoyed 2 more productive seasons before heading over to Houston via trade for the 2024 campaign. Here, he joined a very exciting Texans side looking to capitalize on a historic rookie season by CJ Stroud. As of the time of writing, Mixon has been on fire, rushing for 764 yards and 10 touchdowns from 8 games played, appearing to be well on track for his 2nd Pro Bowl appearance and potentially more. So those were the 4 running backs taken before Alvin Kamara in the 2017 draft. All things considered, that is a fantastic running back class, with Mixon, Kamara, Cook, and McCaffrey all making the Pro Bowl, and the latter 3 all featuring on All-Pro teams. With McCaffrey winning the Offensive Player of the Year award and Fournette earning a Super Bowl ring, has there ever been a more productive running back class in NFL history? Which of these backs do you think will have had the best career when all is said and done? Let us know in the comments. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring this video. Once again, if you'd like to sign up for BetUS, use the promo code YouTube150.